My name's David Rodwin, and this is The Life. So, there's one thing that I fear more than anything else while traveling, and that is when I first check in for my airplane, that when I put the card into the self-serve check-in, that nothing comes up. Now, since I didn't book my travel directly myself, when I was going up to San Francisco this time, I was particularly terrified. But like always, like magic, I stick my card in, it figures out who I am, it spits out my ticket, and I go on my way. Now, I was lulled into a false sense of security because it worked perfectly on the way up, and this time, on the way back down from San Francisco, I put my card in, and it said, "You are too early to check in for your flight. Come back tomorrow." At that point, I knew something was very, very, very wrong. But I feel like I accomplished something really great today because I went up to the counter and I started talking to the woman, and it was clear that my ticket had been booked for the wrong day. And there was a screw-up somewhere along the way. It was a very complicated process, and it's one of the first times I didn't actually do all of the actual booking myself. So I talked with the agent, and she's like, "Yes, well, if you want to go back on that flight, it'll cost $250. And I'm like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me." So we talked, and I asked if she could talk to her supervisor, and she's like, "Well, we might be able to do it for $150. And I kept on trying to explain what happened, and isn't there any way, and this was a big accomplishment for me because I am terrible at asking for favors. I am terrible at asking people to bend the rules, even when it's in their power to bend the rules, and it wouldn't actually cost them anything. I have a hard time saying that I'm someone who you should change things for. I follow the rules. I'm a nice guy like that. I don't want to cause trouble. But this was one time where I said, "Is there anything you can do?" And they typed and they clicked, and it took 20 minutes of them typing and clicking and being on the phone and talking to supervisors, and finally they said, "Okay, we can get you onto the flight that you were thinking that you were on. $50 fee, go standby," and boom, I was on the flight, home just in time for Shabbat. And I actually feel like I accomplished something by standing up for myself today and by asking nicely. Is there anything you guys can do to help? My name's David Rodwin, and Shabbat Shalom.